Welcome to SVG-TV's news for Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. St. Vincent and the Grenadines will officially observe its first ever Spiritual Baptist Day with a national public holiday tomorrow, Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. The day marks a historic moment for the Spiritual Baptist community and recognizes the cultural and religious contributions of the faith to the Vincentian society. The decision to designate Spiritual Baptist Day as a public holiday was announced by the government earlier this year, following long-standing calls for national recognition of the denomination's legacy and influence. Planned observances include a national Thanksgiving service at Victoria Park, cultural performances, and community outreach events organized by the Spiritual Baptist churches across the country. Speaking on the holiday, Prime Minister Dr. Afghan Salves asked that everyone use the day to spread love and joy.
I will have to, we must remember the leaders who have made tremendous sacrifice and put in effort to bring us to where we are today. It has been a long process.
Yes.
It is also the strength of the local branches, the role of women, the spiritual and societal role played by the Spiritual Baptists. And we have to open our hearts and our minds to take people in and to show love and caring and to show that there is redemption and in these days when so many things, greed and the individualism, rank individualism and selfishness rip asunder the society or shake it with robberies and killings and so forth. We need to have that love and that caring, and that is what the Spiritual Baptists and the other religious faiths are about, and we have to embrace and love one another.
A cocktail at the Prime Minister's residence is also planned as part of tomorrow's celebrations.
I'm looking forward very much for Wednesday, and just to say that down to this morning, I was talking to the staff here at the official residence, because after the big church service at Victoria Park, that the leadership coming straight up here and the residence of the Prime Minister for a cocktail plus the visitors who are coming in from overseas.
Yeah.
I can't have everybody who go into the church, who go into the Victoria Park up at the residence. There's just not enough space. But I think we have to have the leadership and the guests whom they have coming from overseas, and to make all the appropriate transportation and security arrangements for them, so that we'll have a wonderful civilized event full of faith and love and hope and the prospect of redemption for all sinners.
The Spiritual Baptist Committee planned a week of activities which ends on Sunday with a pilgrimage to Beckley. The Spiritual Baptist faith, which blends African traditions with Christian practices, has played a significant role in the religious and cultural landscape of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The new holiday is seen as a step toward deeper inclusion, respect, and national acknowledgement of religious diversity. Minister of National Mobilization Keesal Peters has called on Vincentians living in New York diaspora to invest in St. Vincent and the Grenadines' growing creative industry, emphasizing its untapped potential for development and economic growth. Minister Peters made the appeal while addressing members of the diaspora during the Invest SVG's outreach investment program themed Home is Where the Heart Is. She noted that SVG is home to many talented fashion designers as well as musicians and other creatives who need greater support and investment to reach the international markets and scale their work.
One of the challenges they've expressed is not having the requisite economies of scale to be able to produce at a higher level, a higher output level. And when I was Minister for Foreign Trade, one of the initiatives I would push when I speak to other diplomats was whether there was any appetite to assist in fashion, clothing, and textiles, but in particular, a factory where, and I've spoken, as I said, to a few of the designers, where they can come together. There's a factory setting allowing them to utilize the seamstresses or the tailors who are available, and by this we can generate employment and have their garments and their designs made. I don't think the markets are that hard to find. We also have instances where the young artists, the musical artists, they say, well, we want somewhere where we can record music, because not everyone can afford studio sessions. But this is something as well that we may consider as an investment opportunity as it relates to the creative industry.
In addition to the creative sector, Minister Peters also identified the need for an investment in social development areas, including care for the elderly and safe recreational spaces for children. She said the ministry is also seeking partnerships to establish a home or homes for the elderly where they can receive quality care.
Whilst the government has done, in my view, a marvelous job as it relates to education, early childhood education, if you consider the recreational aspect of it, if you consider what we have at home, we don't have a lot of spaces where mummies and daddies can take their little ones to play, except for the community playgrounds, but spaces where they can play, they can learn, they can interact. Video, audio, initiatives where children can develop themselves. That is, in my humble opinion, something that is missing. Something as simple as, maybe not as big as Six Flags or Disneyland, but something on a smaller scale where just on a Sunday evening or a Saturday evening, you can go with your children and build memories with them. And they will say, oh, I remember when Mommy took me here, I remember when Daddy took me here. I remember when I was younger, I used to go to Coney Island. Anybody remembers that?
The Home is Where the Heart Is diaspora outreach campaign targeted Vincentians living in Toronto, London, Washington, D.C. and New York, aiming to connect them to investment opportunities back home and encourage their participation in national development. Several speakers, including the Chief Executive Officer of Invest SVG, Glenn Beach, addressed the gatherings and urged members of the diaspora to seize the growing number of investment opportunities available across various sectors in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In other news now, Daedron Aki of the Richland Park Seventh-day Adventist School emerged victorious in this year's Grade 5 Mathematics Quiz competition hosted by the Ministry of Education in collaboration with the Hatchet Learning or Harder Education. The event was held earlier today at the University of the West Indies UWI Global Campus site in Frenchs. Aki showcased outstanding mathematical skills throughout the competition, outpacing his peers to secure the top spot. Second place went to Devanaro Byron of the Sandy Bay Secondary School, while Jaquan Richardson of the Kithouse Government School placed third with a total of 65 points. In her opening remarks, Senior Education Officer responsible for curriculum, Althea Gums-Dyer, emphasized the significance of the event, noting that the annual competition is not only a celebration of mathematics, but also of the young minds who demonstrate a passion for numbers, logic, and problem solving.
We all know that at this time in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as well as throughout the region, we are struggling with performance in mathematics. So we are very pleased that Hatchet Learning has chosen to collaborate with us on improving our maths performance. And they have been doing so through this program since 2018. This program is not just a competition. It is part of our strategic plan to show students that learning math is fun and that there are rewards to be had from doing well in this subject. The challenge round is intended to demonstrate how teachers can make linkages to real-life situations, thereby making students understand the relevance a little better. Through this quiz, we also hope that students and teachers will connect through their passion for the subject. Then we can see more innovative instruction in the classroom so that the strong will get stronger and the weak will get strong. In addition to this program, there are currently over 30 teachers undergoing professional development by the Commonwealth of Learning so that they can improve teaching in the classroom. Also, there's an after-school program that the government is paying for to allow all students of grades 5 and 6 and forms 3, 4, and 5 to have free access to additional support. And this is for all students. So the Ministry of Education continues to do much to try to improve performance in this area.
Local representative of Hatchet Learning, Byron Wilson, also addressed the gathering, commending all the schools that participated in this year's quiz and congratulated all the students and teachers who worked hard to make the event a success.
I was informed that 47 schools participated, or 70% of the school population, and we have an increase of 5%. 5 is big or small, depending on how you look at it. And with a 5%, we hope that by next year, we are going to go up 10, 15, 20. And when we have 100%, I'm not going to say what I plan to do for 100%, but it could be something big. What we really want to do is to give the children a chance to show their skills, because we have very smart children here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we just want to provide them with the opportunity to excel. So 5%, I take it. And if, as a worker, you get a 5% increase in salary, you will say, okay, that's very good. But if you are a student and you get 5%, they might say, okay, fail. But we're happy with the 5%. Of the finalists, I know that there's only one school from Kingstown. It shows that the school in the rural areas are really taking up the mantle, and they are competing with the other schools. Let us hope that they will continue to grow from strength to strength. And I reckon that last year winner was from the New Bronx Primary School, which is a school in the rural area as well. So the schools in the urban areas need to put themselves together and compete hard, because these children are coming for you.
The grade 5 math quiz aims to promote numeracy as well as critical thinking and teamwork among primary school students across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The competition continues to be a key platform for identifying and encouraging young mathematical talent in the nation. Inspector of Police and a member of the Pan Against Crime Committee, Von Miller, has voiced concern over the declining interest in steel pan music among the nation's youth. He emphasized that the Pan Against Crime initiative was designed to help young people become responsible citizens and steer clear of criminal activities. Inspector Miller made the remarks during his appearance on the Police on the Beat radio program last evening. The discussion focused focused on the National Commission on Crime Prevention (NCCP) and the Pan Against Crime Committee, highlighting their roles and responsibilities in the national crime prevention efforts. According to Inspector Miller, the love for Pan is no longer being seen among our young people, pointing out that Pan Against Crime is more than just music. It's a platform that offers youth discipline, focus, and a positive alternative to crime.
The pans in these schools, the love for the pans are not there in some schools. Some areas the pans are not there. And I want to urge, to beg the students and even the teachers to play a pivotal role and to try to encourage the children to love the pans. They have to love the instrument in order for the instrument to give what it really should give. For instrument to sing for the pan to sing nice, you the player have to love the pan.
Inspector Miller also expressed disappointment with the lack of commitment from some schools in supporting the initiative.
Of course. When the SVG initiative started, I was a corporal, and I could have felt the love, the principals, teachers, and even students from the various schools were pan based. But today it's very difficult, and I wish I was the bandman person in police band in those days. At this time now it's very difficult for me because I'm not getting what my predecessors got in regard to the pan earlier. And I must say I'm really disappointed in some of the schools that don't like the pan. I'm going to say it here tonight, people complain about noise, teachers complain about noise, and pan being played. And that this in itself could be heartbreaking.
Inspector Miller pointed to the growing influence of technology and digital entertainment as factors pulling young people away from traditional instruments like the steel pan.
I think persons get more involved now in other things. Probably the cell phones. They don't see the importance of music. They see it of the pan being in the schools. And I'm saying this now. Leadership is very much important. And if you have persons in the schools who accept and love the instrument and play their part, the NCCP, the police band, the Pan Against Crime Committee could do as much.
Launched in 2008, the Pan Against Crime initiative uses music, particularly the steel pan, as a tool for youth engagement, empowerment, and crime prevention. The program has established steel orchestras in communities and schools across St. Vincent and the Grenadines, offering a constructive outlet for creativity and collaboration. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Calypsonians Association has announced a series of changes for this year's Calypso season as part of its renewed strategy to elevate the standard of Calypso music across the country. According to Earl Cabot Bennett, president of the SVG Calypsonians Association, more than 60 Calypsonians have registered to participate in the 2025 Calypso competitions. Bennett stated that changes have been made to the venues, dates, and the names of some shows as the association seeks to rebrand and revitalize the art form.
In terms of a brand. And that is because traditionally, the 10 official days of Calypso commences with Calypso semi-finals, known to all of us as Fantastic Friday. That is no longer the case. Another show will take place of Fantastic Friday. As such, the Calypso semi-finals has been moved to Sunday, 29th of June, and it is branded An Evening with the Legends. And not only is there a name change, there's also a change in venue. That will now take place at the cruise ship boat. So Calypso semi-embrace them because we need continuity. And this year, I can tell you, you're in for a treat for Junior Calypso. That takes place on the 4th of July, Tuesday, 4th of July, branded Young Voices, Big Vibes. But the Calypso finals will be branded Crowns and Legends, the Royal Spectacle, Sunday, 6th July.
While several show details are still being finalized, the association revealed that plans are in progress to host the show in Union Island, and the date for the National Queen of Calypso show is yet to be confirmed. Additionally, the association has recommended that veteran calypsonian Robert Patches King be honored this year for his contributions to the art form. Bennett also emphasized that this year the association is working more closely with the Carnival Development Corporation to ensure a more cohesive and impactful Calypso season.
The complaint is being resonating with me that we start the tent too late, and as a result, some persons do not come to the tent. That is one of the reasons why persons don't come to the tent. They say we start too late and we end naturally too late. I know that the tents are far better prepared this year. From a marketing viewpoint, I'm impressed with what they have been doing. Some of the tents that didn't have Facebook pages have established Facebook pages and other social media pages. So you could see they mean real business. And they can't do it alone. The tents want to start earlier, but the reality of the situation is they start earlier, they're going to lose more money. Until we see persons are responding in a more positive manner, then the tent again will go back to 4 shows. Everybody asks why only 2 shows, then the preliminaries is just the circumstances.
In preparation for the upcoming competitions, a workshop for Calypso judges is scheduled for this weekend to ensure fair and informed judging throughout the season. The Calypso tent shows are set to end on June 12, 2025. Participating tents this year include the Upstage tent, Graduates tent, On Tour tent, Dynamite Calypso tent based in the United States. All tents are expected to begin their performances later this month.
The Dynamite's Calypso tent, and they will be judging on preliminary judging on June 7th. That will take us into the preliminary judging, and their judging will be done at Nazareth Regional High School, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11207.
Oh, we are at a date shift. We'll be opening our batting actually at the Russell's Auditorium for the first event on May 28th. That's towards the end of this month. And then we move into Miller Shop in Sandy Bay for our tradition now of bringing Calypso to the outskirts. On June 6th, we've long established a foothold on the leeward side of the island. In searching for a venue for the leeward side, and we found one last year in Cumberland at the Waffle Sun Entertainment Sports Bar there.
Tell you this off the bat, Calypso for 2025 is going to be off the hook, because as you know, this year is a very good year. This year, graduates will be presenting Calypso to the world. We have a fairly big cast this year, and of course, we have 3 shows. We have the first show on the 27th of May, all at the Russell's Auditorium. We have the second show, which is on the 3rd of June, and the preliminaries, which will be on the 10th of June.
This year we're carrying a bigger cast than last year. We will be carrying 24 members. And that means that new people has joined the tent. We have 5 new members.
African Liberation Day will be observed in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Saturday, May 25th, 2025, under the theme, We Are African Wherever We May Be. The annual commemoration pays tribute to the shared history, resilience, and cultural identity of the African descendants across the diaspora. Assistant Cultural Officer in charge of Drama and Theatre, Mr. Sean Frederick, announced that this year's activities will begin with a mini exhibition and culminates in a cultural presentation at the Sandhill intersection. The event will feature speeches as well as live performances and other artistic displays highlighting African heritage.
With reference to African liberation, which has been celebrated this year in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the 25th of May, the activity planned is being held in the community of Sandhill, where the African Liberation Committee, headed by Idisha Jackson, they would partner with the Department of Culture to have an entire day's activity, starting with a mini exhibition of different arts and crafts and plants and cuisine that will take place for about midday. The activity will also see cultural presentation, which should start anything by between 3 and 4 o'clock, which will involve drumming, music, modeling of African attire and African craft and jewelry, as well as poetry and a drum circle. The event will also hear speeches in terms of feature speeches and so on by a number of persons, including politicians, certain greetings and solidarity messages from a number of individuals as well.
The cultural officer said the commemorative activities are meant to highlight the struggles and resilience of the African people who form a significant part of the ancestral makeup of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Well, like other activities, it's really to highlight and to commemorate the struggles of our foreparents, or people who were involved in African liberation against our colonizers. This commemoration started by about 4 or 5 African countries many years ago. I can't remember the exact date. So this is done internationally to bring awareness, education, and to keep the plight and the struggles of African and Africanness alive.
Frederick added that this year's observance places a special emphasis on educating and engaging the younger generation.
An activity has been organized not just for awareness or to have these events or speeches. It's really to continue to instill that level of education on our young people, because the next generation, they need to know what the struggles were in order for them to understand our history, our culture. And in St. Vincent and Grenadines, you know that we had the shortest stint of slavery, and with reference to Africans in terms of the tribe and so on, we want persons to know who were involved in those struggles. How were they able to persevere, in a sense? Like people like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X and others, Nelson Mandela, and there are quite a number of intentions as well who are involved in that, or continue to be involved in that fight against imperialism. There's a lot of attempts out there to occupy and to write off blackness or Africanness and so on. So there's just a struggle to just continue to consolidate on what was done before.
African Liberation Day has been observed globally since 1963, commemorating the founding of the Organization of African Unity, now the African Union, and promoting unity and solidarity among African nations and people of African descent in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The day continues to serve as a reminder of the enduring impact of African heritage on the nation's identity, culture, and development. The Center for Enterprise Development, Inc., the CED, says its 6-month Men's Empowerment Program, the Technical Assistance for Men's Employment and Entrepreneurs Development Tamed project is progressing well and is on track for completion in July. The Tamed project focuses on equipping the participants with the necessary skills, knowledge, and resources to enhance their technical capabilities, improve their livelihoods, and contribute meaningfully to the economic and social development of their communities. The program includes a series of training, mentorship, and financial assistance. The CED says since its launch in March, the activities executed thus far have been well received and attended by over 40 participants. Training and Education Coordinator Keisha Phillips noted that the participants have undergone training sessions on entrepreneurship and planning their small businesses, selling and customer service, as well as human resource management for small business owners. The business management skills training is expected to continue next week, with participants expected to be exposed to financial management in record keeping. In June, they will also get training in understanding their business model using the Learn Canvas approach, then costing and pricing their products and services. One of the main activities in the project is a business symposium scheduled for June 19th at the Kingstone Baptist Church. The objective of the symposium is to help the men and women in the Tamed project unlock opportunities to scale business, improve efficiency, and secure long-term financial success for their businesses. The theme for the event is Power in Connection, Collaborating and Networking for Men's Business Growth. The business symposium will see the participants in the project benefiting from a panel discussion and networking sessions with stakeholder agencies and companies such as the National Insurance Services, the SVG Bureau of Standards, and financial institutions. In July, 5 businesses will compete for cash prizes in a business plan pitch competition. The project will culminate with a closing and grants giving ceremony on the 18th of July. The Tamed project is funded by the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints in the amount of EC $348,713.